Gilda, I went by your house today and it smelled like curry. It smelled delicious. Could I have some to give to my family? But our house is on the 7th floor of an apartment. Did you come all the way to the front door or something? Come now, there's no need to worry about the details. You see, everyone in my family loves curry, so we'd like to take it from you. Come on, Gilda, you know how we're struggling financially and have 3 kids to feed, right? Couldn't you be kind enough to just give us some food? Huh? Wow, so this is one of your sudden requests again. Everyone in my family likes curry as well, and I only made enough for the 4 of us, so I won't be giving any to you. I sympathize with your struggles, but I simply don't feel the need to give you our food. If you and your family are truly struggling, as you say, then why don't you apply for financial aid? But why would I apply for financial aid if you could just give it to me yourself? I mean, you say you don't feel the need, but in reality, you're just too selfish to help us out, aren't you? Besides, isn't it only natural for you to make curry for everyone in my family as well? What? Well, I guess you could call me selfish for not helping you out, but to be honest, we aren't really that close, Sophia. And I'm no saint that goes around helping the needy either. And no, it isn't natural for me to make curry for your family as well, since we barely even know each other. Do you text the other mothers like this all the time too? Aw, don't say that, Gilda. We're friends, aren't we? And no, I don't ask the other mothers for favors like this because I know you're the only one who's kind enough to actually help me. I mean, I'm always nice enough to ask for your curry, Gilda. Why do you always just turn me down? Seriously, don't you feel even a little bit guilty wasting my kindness like this? Yeah, but I've never even thought to myself that I'd like it if you received my curry. We're not friends, Sophia. Don't call me that. I mean, you're not really being kind to us anyway, since what you're doing is actually just bothering us by asking for our stuff. This is food I made for my family, so I won't give it to you. What? What are you trying to say, Gilda? I'm trying to say that I'm not going to give you a single spoonful of curry. If I had known it would come to this, I would have never entertained you by giving you some of our food last week. What did you just say to me? To think that I was nice enough to visit you guys at your apartment. I'm only trying to be a good neighbor, you know. All right, I'll consider this as just one of your pranks again. A prank? This isn't a prank, Gilda. I'm being 100% serious. If you're not a selfish bitch that only thinks about herself, then give me some of that curry you made. Yeah, call me whatever you want. What makes you think I'd care? Anyways, I still have some housework I need to take care of, so bye. Hey, hold on! But if you don't give us some of your curry, then my family will have nothing to eat for dinner. Seriously, Gilda, if we starve, it's going to be your fault. Just give us your curry so you won't have to feel guilty anymore. Hey, Gilda, what's with the car? Huh? What do you mean the car? The car that was parked in the parking lot? Oh my God, I am so jealous of you. If you're talking about my car, then I've been using it for about half a year now. What do you mean you're jealous? It's just a regular car made in the country. My, to think that you would call a car like that regular? That must mean that you were secretly rich, right? I mean, a car like this probably cost at least 100 million euros, right? Jesus, Gilda. What does your husband even do for a living? And why do you guys live in such a regular apartment if you've got so much money? What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Sophia. I mean, you live in a regular 3DK apartment, so I was just almost fooled into thinking that you guys were just an average household. I get it. You're the kind of person who doesn't care much about food or housing and just uses all their money on cars, right? Not really, but I'm pretty sure that our household income is pretty average, actually. In fact, due to the recent inflation, we've been forced to be tight with money recently. We definitely don't have enough money to buy a car worth 1 million euros, if that's what you wanted to ask. It's no use trying to hide that you're rich, because I already know. And now that I've seen that amazing car, it's your duty as a celebrity mother to support me and my family who are suffering, because we have 3 children, even though my husband doesn't earn that much money. You don't have any excuse not to give me stuff anymore, Gilda. If you don't, you'll truly just be a selfish bitch, and I'll tell all the other mothers about it. I already told you, my family is neither rich nor famous. So I'm afraid we won't be able to help you. And I don't care if you call me selfish or whatever, but it's just the way of the world. People prioritize themselves and their family above everything else, and we're no different. Besides, I don't want to be called selfish by someone who always asks for stuff but never gives anything in return. What are you talking about? What do you mean you're neither rich nor famous? I mean, your husband earns enough money for you to be able to be a housewife, right? That alone is enough to show that someone is rich in this day and age. I'm not a housewife. I just work from home. Oh, so that means that not only does your husband earn a lot of money, but you earn money yourself as well. That must mean that you have a ton of money then. You must do some high-class job yourself, right? I know you must be an investor or something. Wow, I never knew you were so talented, Gilda. No, I'm not an investor. I'm just a regular employee who works for the planning department at B Corporations. My husband is also just a regular office worker who earns a regular salary. Will you please stop making all these assumptions? None of them are true. I already told you, Gilda. I know you're lying because there's no way someone with a regular salary would be able to afford a car like that. Give me that car of yours. Huh? So this is what you wanted from the start, huh? If you're that rich, then you can just buy another one, right? So give it to me. My family clearly needs it more than you. Do you know how much a luxury car would help a struggling family with 3 children? A lot. I mean, we definitely wouldn't be struggling anymore. I'm afraid I won't be able to do that. That's the only car our family owns. And for the last time, we don't earn enough money to be able to just buy another car. Fine, then just let me drive it first. I'll decide then whether I'll take it from you or not. I won't give it to you, and I won't let you drive it either. Who knows what you might do? You might try to run away with it or get into an accident or something. Aw, please. It's fine if you just let me drive it a bit, right? Come on, Gilda, what harm would it do? No, it's not lending the car itself that's the problem here, but the fact that I'm going to be lending it to you, who, if we're being honest, I have zero trust with. Jesus, Gilda, you're going to hurt my feelings with words like that. I thought we were friends. If we really are friends, then just let me drive your car for a bit. I want to drive it. I want to drive it. I want to drive it. You're so stubborn. For the last time, I am not going to let you drive it. Bye. Huh? You're so stingy, Gilda. Fine. I'll just do something about it myself. I still really want to drive that car. So I thought to myself, so I went to the parking lot and, oh my God, the keys to the car were left on the hood. This means I can drive it, right? Yes, I knew you were my friend, Gilda. You always deny it, but I know you're just the kind of person that isn't very open about their own feelings. You're so cute letting me know I can drive the car in this fashion. I mean, seriously. You tell me that you won't let me drive it, but one day you change your mind and leave the keys on the hood, and you don't tell me anything because you're too shy to do so. Anyways, thanks for changing your mind about me driving the car, Gilda. I'll take it out for a ride right now. Huh? Sophia? You're going to take our car out for a drive? What are you talking about? But I'm currently driving the car on my way to the supermarket. Stop with these jokes, please. They aren't funny. I'm going to tell you one more time, I'm not going to let you drive our car, and I'm definitely not going to give or lend it to you either. Seriously, where do you come up with all this nonsense? Oh, my, looks like I got a text from Gilda while I was driving. Huh? What do you mean you're driving your car and are on your way to the supermarket? But I'm driving your car right now, so there's no point in trying to lie. Oh, I get it. You're still too embarrassed that you changed your mind and are actually going to let me drive your car, which is why you're still denying it like this, right? It's all right, Gilda. I forgive you for being mean towards me at the start. We're best friends forever, after all. To tell you the truth, I thought that driving this car was difficult at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually all right. I got the opportunity to take your car out for at least a test drive, so I decided to go somewhere far away, and now I'm on the highway. It feels so good speeding down the highway in your luxury car, Gilda. Sophia, what? You're on the highway? Don't tell me, but are you actually driving right now? Yep. Well, not exactly right now, because that would be dangerous, right? I'm currently at a road stop taking a break, though. It feels so good going vroom vroom and going full speed in this car. But I'm trying to tell you that I used our car to go to the supermarket. I already parked it in our parking lot, but I can see it from our balcony. I'm pretty sure it's still there. I'm afraid that yet again, I don't know what you're talking about, Sophia. Yeah. It's getting kind of old, Gilda. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. The car was scratched a bit, but don't you dare complain about something as little as this, all right? Today's a test drive, after all. Make sure you have it repaired before I come and take it from you, all right? Sophia, can you still text right now? Yep, I'm still taking a break at the road sign. I'm planning on heading out soon. What is it? You said that you were driving a luxury car, right? The one with the golden number plate and the silver car frame? Yep. Why are you asking me that? This is your car, isn't it? You're weird, Gilda. I want you to stay calm and listen to me right now. Our family doesn't own any such luxury car. We only own a regular 4-seater. What? Yep, my car is a white car made by Nissan, and it was bought secondhand as well. What? But that was your previous car, wasn't it? I saw you leaving the parking lot driving a car like that before. It's the second closest one to the entrance, right? Yeah, I do park it at the second closest lot to the entrance. There, you see? But there's a similar parking lot 1 block down from the one I always use. I went to the balcony earlier to check if my car was still there and saw that there was a crowd gathering at this other parking lot. Could it be? I thought to myself and went to see what was happening. Wait, is it the case that... Yes, it is. You went to the wrong parking lot, Sophia, and mistook the luxury car parked at the lot second closest to the entrance for mine. Then you got in the car without the owner's permission and took it for a ride. I think this is what happened. No way! You've got to be kidding, right? There's no point in me making jokes at a situation like this. Then who is the owner of this luxury car? Yep, I think that's where you screwed up the worst. Who is it? Have you heard of Anton? Is that the crazy guy who's suspected of having ties with the criminal underworld? Correct. What? Then I'm in big trouble, right? Please, Gilda, I'll come back immediately and return the car without anyone noticing, so don't tell anyone that I took the car out for a drive. I told you earlier that there was a crowd at the parking lot, right? It means that Anton himself is there, and there's a commotion because he's screaming about how his car got stolen. No way. Apparently, there were eyewitnesses to you stealing the car and taking it out for a drive, so there's no point trying to hide anymore. Steal? I didn't steal it. There's no point trying to run away either, so you should just come back immediately and return the car, or contact the authorities right away. Gilda! What should I do? I got into an accident. I was panicking the whole time I was driving home, and I'm fine, but the car's been flattened. What should I do? Seriously, what should I do? I'm fucked now, aren't I? Gilda, please give me 1 million euros. I need to pay for the car that I broke. I mean, this is all your fault for not telling me that that wasn't your car sooner, so you need to do something about this. Please, at least just read my messages. Apparently, if I don't give him 1 million euros by 3 days, he's going to do something terrible to me. I have no choice but to ask you, the one who's responsible for this mess, to give me the money. If you feel bad about getting me into this mess, then hurry up and give me the 1 million euros. He says I need to give it to him by sunset on Saturday. Gilda, where's the 1 million euros? Oh shit, the sun's about to set. My husband gave me divorce papers and went into hiding with our children, so I can't rely on them anymore. Are you going to tell me that you don't care what happens to me? Are you just going to throw me away, the friend you were kind enough to lend a car to once? Shit, the sun has set. Anton is here with a bunch of muscular men. Please, I need 1 million euros in cash right now. We're currently behind the parking lot his car used to be parked in. Come here quick. If you're not going to give me the cash, then at least come here so you can be taken away instead of me, please. He told me that if I couldn't pay the 1 million euros, then he's going to make me work for him for the rest of my life. He says that that probably won't even be worth half of what I owed him. Please, Gilda, I think he plans on selling me to slavery or something. I could already see Sophia telling everyone that it was my fault she broke Anton's car, so I decided to be one step ahead of her and tell Anton how she must have thought his car was my car because our cars are parked in the same spaces, but in different parking lots. But thankfully, he seemed to be a sane man and said it's her fault for trying to take someone else's car in the first place, and told me that this was in no way my fault. By the way, it seems that Anton went to Sophia's husband and told him that he would let him and his kids go on the condition that he divorced Sophia. He didn't need to tell Sophia's husband twice. And he finished the necessary paperwork required for his kids to change schools and for them to move somewhere far away at the speed of light. Sophia's parents had cut ties with her years ago, and so now that her family left her, she was completely alone with no one she could rely on. I don't know if the rumors about Anton having ties to the criminal underworld are true or not, but it's true that Sophia suddenly disappeared the day after she was supposed to give him the money. No one dares question what happened to her after that, and there hasn't been a word from her ever since.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Yo, Chris, you happen to work for Jarvis, right? Is that you, Parker? It's been a very long time, right? The last time you and I saw each other was maybe 5 years ago at that class reunion? Yo, answer the dang question for me. You happen to work for the company Jarvis now, right? That's right. I started to work for Jarvis around 3 years ago when I changed over to this company. As of right now, I'm working in the sales department. I've worked with Jarvis in their sales department before plenty of times, but I never once noticed that you were there with them. Ah, I see. You're working for Cadillac's commercial affairs team now, right? I happen to just become the manager for all of our work with Cadillac recently. Oh? You're the one in charge now? This all happened for me so fast, with the promotion and such, but the last manager ended up leaving his job for a few reasons that I'm not aware of. I'm sure that you would recognize that manager if you saw him, since I'm sure you ran into him a couple of times then. Yeah, probably. Well, I can see that you're doing alright for yourself now then, and that's where you're working now. Well, I'm glad that we were both able to catch up. See ya! Ah, right. See you again sometime. 3 months later. Parker? Do you have some time to chat with me? Huh? When I'm over at Cadillac trying to deal with some important work, Do you mind not putting me in headlocks all the time? Or coming up behind me and hitting me in the back?
Yo, Chris. You need to start calling me Mr. Parker from now on. I'm the one who has a position above your own now. Don't you dare think you can call me by my name without adding some form of a formality to it, you lowlife.
What are you talking about? Jarvis and Cadillac don't have that kind of connection with one another.
No, I'm the leader of the team that deals with you guys now, and I've decided that I can do whatever I want when it comes to all of you.
You became the leader?
And if you were just to take a look at the size of this company compared to Jarvis, you'd know better than to think you were on the same level as me. No matter what you try and say, Cadillac is seen as the company on top of Jarvis. So all you guys are over there is a contractor to us.
I don't believe either one of the companies we work for had that kind of relationship with the other, actually.
Hey, you need to be more formal with me. You'd better start thinking of how to talk to me like I'm your boss.
Well, anyway, what I'm wanting to talk with you about is related to our work. So can you please stop speaking such nonsense to me?
Huh? What did you just say to me?
You've always kind of been this way to me, ever since middle school. And not just me, I suppose, but to everyone you're ever around. You forget to think about how others feel about you, and will do anything and everything for yourself without a bother in the world. Back in middle school, you happened to make a lot of trouble for one of the teachers who was pregnant at the time, and got kicked out of her class. And there were plenty of other times there as well where you had to go to detention for being rude and obnoxious to everyone else. You even ended up being suspended that one time for causing a scene in the lunchroom by pushing someone else over while they were carrying your lunch tray. I guess you really never learned that from suspension anyway, so it was probably better to take another approach at trying to make you behave, but anyway. Have you still not noticed that your kind of nonchalant behavior about everything is not helpful to those around you?
Huh? Who gives a crap about everyone around me? Because I feel that they have a problem, they can bring it up with me.
I'm sure back in school that kind of thought process worked out for you. But we're adults now working in two very large companies.
You contractors and your preaching always takes way too long.
I told you that I'm not a contractor to your company. I understand that you and I have history all the way back to middle school, but at the moment, all we are to one another is business partners, or, well, customers. In other words, I'd like it if things between us remain that way and you stop it with all the horseplay when I come over to the office. Especially right now when both of our companies are starting to make some big decisions between one another and need to be serious.
Alrighty then. I'll be more careful around you.
The next day.
Oh. Chris, you've made it. Just like that other man that was working as the manager for relations between my company and yours, you happened to give a good meeting about those plans there. But listen, bud. What the hell do you think you're doing bringing plans up like that to my company when you're just a contractor to us? You trying to make a point there? Ah, I see. I'm betting you thought that to prove that both of our jobs are equal to one another, you decided to bring in those plans and make a whole meeting up about them to show everyone here you're more than a contractor. Well, it's because of thinking like that I'll never be able to take you low-life contractors seriously over here. Alright, this is my chance to make a move. I'm going to help you understand just the position a manager like you is really in, Mr. Contractor. I hope you're looking forward to this, because I sure am.
20 minutes later.
Parker, give me back those plans and proposals. I'm planning to use all of those again for today's meeting. Also, what the heck are you thinking taking that SD card from me that had all those papers downloaded on them for safekeeping? If I don't have any of those by the time of the meeting, I won't be able to have it. Do you have any idea what the heck you're doing right now? Yo, I took a quick read over all those plans and proposals you have here. I don't think any of these will do, to be honest with you. They're being rejected. Huh? This is something I've been wanting to tell you for a while now. For a contractor like you to be bringing proposals like that to a company is a frickin' joke.
Some bullcrap like this that's been thought up by a low-life contractor like you is only good for one thing. Fuel for my fire. Haha. Huh? Are you gonna burn all of that? Actually, the fire's already going. Everything's in there. I'm sure you're not gonna be needing this SD card anymore either, right? Well, I just stomped on it for you, so you don't need to answer that. That whole feeling of superiority you had there is all gone now, right? Parker! Now that I'm the new leader for the team dealing with you and that company, I'm gonna make sure you all understand just what kind of company you're all working for now. Do you have a single clue what the hell you've just done, Parker? I told you exactly what I've done. I destroyed it all. Because ideas coming from contractors like you mean nothing to me and my team, nor this whole entire company. I worked very hard to snatch all those papers from you, as well as that SD card today in order to remind you what kind of position you're really in. The leader of that team is still Justin, as I recall. Well, starting today, Justin is no longer leading the team, and in his place, I stand. Well, I was never officially told any sort of news like that from any higher-ups, nor yours. And actually, as we speak, my company is on the line with yours asking who is in charge of that team. Huh? To me, it seems that you've been causing a lot of problems for Justin and the team there. And from today, are you trying to act as though you're in charge now, right? I'm sure you're just doing all that to make me feel worried and upset, or something needless like that. What are you getting at here? I was just doing my job for this company by making sure idiot contractors like you don't get the wrong idea and think it's okay to be making proposals for this company. If anything, I'd really like a thank you from you right now for helping both companies out. Parker, I had thought you knew about my position in Jarvis and the relation we have with Cadillac, but I guess you really don't have a single clue. Huh? I'm sure I shouldn't be having to say something like this to you right now. But listen here, Parker. Those plans and proposals that you just burnt up and smashed on the floor happen to not only be thought up by my company. What? Those proposals that were given to us came from your team's leader, Justin, and he had asked for us to brush them up a little here. Also, that by the time we put them into action, there would be no faults anywhere. And as for some final work that was being put into all those proposals and plans, I had created a PowerPoint on that SD card to give at the meeting showcasing what we had done and where we planned to go with everything. Huh? As for today, during that joint meeting we'll be having, there will be both the CEO from Cadillac and the CEO from Jarvis there to see what ideas we have ready. And not just them, but also other customers to both our companies will be there watching. What did you just say? It will only be a matter of time before everyone begins to show up for that meeting, all to see what we've thought up to help both companies work together even closer from here on out. But after what you've done, I'm sure you can guess what'll happen to you now, right? Wait a second. Luckily that SD card and those papers have all been backed up to another hard drive back at Jarvis, so I can go back there to retrieve all that information as long as the meeting has moved to another date, or later this evening. So I'm not so worried about having that meeting or not. What I'm worried about is your behavior, and the actions you took today in the order to try and get me to kneel to you. At this point in time, all of Cadillac is in a panic trying to find out what's happened to you, and what you did with all the proposals we had. Whoa! I'm sure that the smartphone you're texting me with right now is also being blown up by all your coworkers and bosses, right? Do you think it's going to help you in the future to ignore all of them right now? No, wait. I just assumed that after dealing with you, I could get right back to work and talk with them all then. I'd say your best bet now is to start answering to all of them, and come back to the office to answer for what you've done. You really need to be made aware of the severity of all you've just done, and the only way that'll happen is if you come back here and face the consequences. The next day. Chris! Do something about all of this for me! What do you want from me? Right now my uncle is completely pissed at me. If things keep escalating like they have been, I might end up getting fired from my job here. That's right. You so happen to be the nephew of one of the directors within Cadillac, and that's the whole reason you were even able to get a job there in the first place, right? So far, your uncle's apologized for all your actions there many times over. Huh? He's apologized for me? Have you finally come to an understanding of the predicament you're in right now? No way! I was finally able to get a decent job at a company like this, and have been racking in even more money than I ever imagined I'd be able to. Because of my connection to my uncle, I was even able to get a raise and everything. And the job has been so simple for me that I barely feel as though I'm working at all when I'm here. I don't want to be thrown out of a job that's as easy as this one. Well, what would it mean to you if that uncle of yours is no longer a director there? What? Due to all the trouble you've caused this time by ruining the meeting we were supposed to have, and almost destroying all the work Jarvis and Cadillac had worked for, your uncle had to really step in and take responsibility for you. Huh? Are you kidding me? And, well, this was the last straw for the company and your uncle, so they terminated him already. One other thing. That leader, Justin, that you've been trying to take the spot of forcibly, happens to be the grandson of your CEO. Are you freaking kidding me? The rest of this is probably things I shouldn't really be talking about with you. But you have to understand that you're acting like a spoiled brat that thinks they can get away with anything within that company. It's not acceptable by any means, right? No. This is all a lie. I was just wanting to make the workplace more lively, and that's why I did a bunch of things like that to spice things up a bit. And when I started to work on the team dealing with you and that company, I hated to think that some contractor like you would have the balls to try preaching to me like that. That's not a good way of thinking about Cadillac and Jarvis's partnership. Really shows just how horrible of a person you really are, Parker. What? You have not grown up one bit since we first met back in middle school, and that's just sad. If anything, you've only gone backwards in terms of personal growth, and it's felt like I've been dealing with a preschooler when I'm around you here. What the hell did you say? I'm sorry, but I have a meeting to get to now. Huh? Why do you have to go to a meeting all of a sudden? Well, due to your outburst yesterday, along with your actions, the meeting between both our companies had to be delayed until today. For crying out loud! Don't you dare leave me with no help when I'm about to lose my job! You were the one that ruined the gift your uncle had given you by getting you into that company. Why do I have to be the one blamed for all that? You understand the phrase, you'll get what's coming for you? What? Other than the things I've just said to you, there's nothing else I'd like to talk with you about. I'll be going now. Frick! After that, as you just saw, I was able to hold that meeting with the rest of my group and Cadillac's team, and it all went over really well for everyone. But, while that was taking place, Parker went ahead and did something far worse. It appears that he was really in love with the woman working the front desk of the office building, and he refused to stay home from work while the company performed its investigation into him. He came into the building with a bouquet of roses for her, and he proposed to her in the lobby of the building. He totally had the confidence to think that she'd never say no to him, but she told him a swift no, and he began to throw a fit in the lobby, which ended up with him being taken into custody by police. And with that, the CEO came down to him before the police took him away and told him that he was fired. Both of Parker's parents told him to never come around them as they disowned him, and he no longer was able to get into contact with any other members of his family. He also had a restraining order put on him by the girl at the front desk. Parker could no longer handle all the holes that he was continuing to put himself into, and one day he had one last hurrah on the subway drinking loads of alcohol and making a complete mess of himself. He was taken back into custody by police. However, this time he wouldn't be lucky enough to escape the court system. I'm not sure how long he'll be locked up for, but I hope that he keeps acting up in there so that he has to stay longer, as there is no way anyone wants a menace like him back on the streets causing problems for the public.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.